Now, going over to the political part of the podcast, you have Vivek roasting the Washington Post for asking, quote, the stupidest question, getting 4 million views on X in the first 7 hours. Now, it looks like the post that got the most responses specifically came from Colin Rugg. He actually retweeted this for Vivek. Rather in terms of retweeting. It looks like he posted the video, which originally came from Chris Caparza. And these are getting between 5.7 and what did Vivek get in here? Let's see. Yeah, so it did get. Vivek got about 4. And Colin got 5.8 million views and 64,000 likes. Let me look at timestamp where I wrote down the statistics. That is within the first 12 hours. So that's, as youth might say, that went viral to say the least. Now, in terms of the original post from Vivek, so Vivek, before this video from Chris Caparza, in the video is Vivek speaking. Vivek says, quote, "This is the stupidest question I've gotten yet from the media, and that says a lot," unquote. And it looks like it's only about 1:38 long, so I'll go ahead and play that really quick.
I'm not going to recite some catechism for you. I'm against vicious racial discrimination in this country. So I'm not pledging allegiance to your new religion of modern wokeism, which absolutely fits the test. I'm not going to bend the knee to your religion. I'm sorry. I'm not asking you to bend the knee to mine, and I'm not going to bend the knee to yours. But do I condemn vicious racial discrimination? Yes, I do. Am I going to play your silly game of gotcha? No, I'm not. And frankly, this is why people have lost trust. And I know you're going to go print the headline tomorrow. I already know this. We already know how your game works. Vivek Ramaswamy refuses to condemn white supremacy because you asked a stupid question. The reality is, I condemn vicious racial discrimination in this country, but the kind of vicious and systematic racial discrimination we see today is discrimination on the basis of race in a very different direction. You want to know what the best way is to end discrimination on the basis of race? Stop discriminating on the basis of race. Do that, and we're going to move this country forward. And I don't care whether you're black or white or brown or anything in between. That's how we're going to unite this country. You people have been responsible for dividing this country to a breaking point, creating a projection of national division. I meet people from the south side of Chicago to meetings like this one of every shade of melanin, multiple, from man to woman, doesn't make a difference, who are hungry for reviving unity in this country. And you, with your catechism that you try to get to politicians to whatever fake headline you're going to print on the basis of this conversation tomorrow, that's what's dividing this country to a breaking point. Shame on you. Look people in the eye and tell them what you've actually failed to tell them for the last 5 years. Own the accountability for your own failures as the media. That's how we rebuild trust in this country. And until then, I don't have a lot of patience to play the games.
As youth might say, roasted, to say the least. Now, it looks like on Vivek's personal page, that got 3.1 million views and 2.7 thousand responses and 74,000 likes. On Colin Griggs' page, which went a little bit more viral, he says before the video, so Colin Rugg says, quote, "New, Vivek Ramaswamy absolutely obliterates woke reporter who tries to ask him a gotcha question about condemning white supremacy. Amazing," fire emoji 4 times. And in terms of the comments, there's 1.4 thousand and 64,000 likes. So in terms of the comments, we'll do a couple from each. So we'll do a couple from the Colin Rugg, then we'll look at the original thread from Vivek. So the first comment on Colin Rugg's post comes from Kevin Nelson. He says, quote, "I bet they don't air that statement on the 6 o'clock news," unquote. They got 2.3 thousand likes. And Colin responded saying, quote, or Colin said, quote, "Vivek, the destroyer of woke reporters' careers," unquote, getting 3.2 thousand likes. We also have a top comment from Paul Sapuza saying, quote, "Vivek is too smart for these MSM hacks who are used to dealing with regular members of Congress. It's child play for him. It's painful to watch how easily Vivek destroys a reporter. And by painful, I mean awesome," unquote. They got 1.5 thousand likes. Babel365 says, quote, "Trump should seriously consider Vivek as a VP candidate," unquote, getting 1,000 likes. Marcus Prite says, quote, "This is the guy who needs to be the Republican nominee. What a breath of fresh air. It would be an electoral landslide," unquote, getting 370 likes. Let's see here. Right Angle News Network, which A+ for marketing, their logo is actually, in fact, a right angle. That's accurate. I like that. They claim, quote, or they say, quote, "Vivek is the man. He always speaks so eloquently and gets his points across in the best ways possible. We need more people of this brutal honesty in politics instead of just telling people what they want to hear. Follow me if you agree. I got 383 likes. Todd Peterson chimed in and he said, quote, you want us, he did a quote, so he did Vivek's quote and his own statement. So I'll read both. So the quote that Todd Peterson said from Vivek said, quote, you want to know the best way is to end discrimination on the basis of race, stop discriminating on the basis of race, unquote. Todd Peterson added saying, quote, imagine being on the left and this phrase bothering you. We live in unreal times, unquote. They got 884 likes. Let's see here. It's like still overwhelming positive responses, getting between 50 and 150 likes. So we'll do one, let's see here. Do one more top. So this is another top one. It comes from Larry. He says, quote, he's always quick on his feet, but you know they won't show it because it will not give them the reaction they hope for, unquote. They got 62 likes. Now, going over to Vivek's original post on his timeline, pull up the comment section really quick. And he did pin this, so it's one of the top things he wants us to see. So and again, that got 74,000 likes. The first comment comes from The Rabbit Hole, which is a picture of a cartoon rabbit. And they have a comic strip as well as a text. So the text says, quote, DEI is inconsistent with the type of race essentialism it celebrates. It looks like it is a six-celled comic. And the comic has a gentleman saying, I'm proud to be black, and everyone gives him accolades. The other one is, I'm proud to be Asian, and the whole group, the audience in the comic strip gives him accolades and claps. Another one says, I'm proud to be Hispanic, gets accolades. And the fourth comic is, I'm proud to be white, and they all give him strange looks and looks of horror. And he changes his phrase, so he said, I'm proud to be white, then he goes, ... and then everyone freaks out in the reaction, then he goes, white people hate her, and they all give him accolades and they clap. And I got 554 likes. Let's see here. Again, Vivek is brilliant when it comes to social media. During the last presidential Republican nominee debate, he held up the notepad that said Nikki Haley equals corrupt because he knew everyone was going to turn it into a meme. He held that there for a couple seconds perfectly. So this next response comes from someone who photoshopped it, and text says, Vivek showing candidates what they're missing, and it's a picture of a skeleton spine. And Vivek's eyes have been turned into lasers, which is kind of neat. That got 616 likes. Robert Cyphers, excuse me, simply says, that was well played. Hashtag Vivek Ramaswamy getting 435 likes. Let's see here. Mindy Robinson says, quote, because nothing fights racism more than more racism, unquote, the left. She got 289 likes. Vince Langman says, quote, brilliant answer. You're my choice to be President Trump's VP, unquote. I got 278 likes. And again, that is a consistent comment that we keep seeing because, again, he's been very positive in terms of overall his commentary about Trump. He's used, used a couple of similar marketing techniques. I think there's a lot of complementary characters between the two. They both have entrepreneurial backgrounds. I think there's a case to be made for having him be VP, and a lot of people are mentioning that more and more. And again, Vivek he doesn't have the numbers to get the nominee at this time. The poll aggregator, the poll aggregator consistently has him between like 4.3 and 5% for the Republican nominee. So he doesn't have the numbers currently, but a lot of people are liking what he's saying, and his, as youth might say, going viral. So that it'd be interesting to see what happens at the end of the day. Now we do have some contrarian statements. Someone by the name of Ruben Michaels, he chimes in saying, I'm obnoxious blowhard, and it's just a picture of Vivek. He's just turned to the side, and they just added the text obnoxious blowhard. That did get 23 likes, so it didn't go viral as the youth might say, but it's one of a few contrarian comments that got more than 0 likes. Let's see here. News Nomads chimed in saying, quote, can they look you in you with both open eyes and actually ask that question, unquote, getting 28 likes. A lot of people mentioning, mentioning Vivek's Indian heritage or the ethnicity, and saying they still ask this even though he's of this background, but because he's Republican, it's evil, which is a cliche as old as time. Even when I was a kid, everyone always said Republicans were racist. That was just the cliche marketing. Not accurate, but in terms of marketing, it was effective. Because again, that perception is stuck with a lot of people. Someone by the name of Malcolm Flex says, quote, "It's always a consistent test and trap because if you ever defend it, they will try to make it sound like your lack of condemnation or lack of a strong commendation for that hour means you're accepting or defending it," unquote. I got 74 likes. Todd McElroy says, quote, "You speak from the heart, hashtag Vivek. I admire that. I don't always agree with you, but I have a logical approach and you respect diversity in thought. Sorry about the word. I believe you have swayed me. You are what we need today," unquote. I got 51 likes. Do a couple more here. Code of Vets simply said, "Thank you. Brilliant response," unquote, getting 39 likes. Final Cut MI says, quote, "Absolutely destroyed in their spin," unquote, getting 34 likes. Snow Crash said, quote, "This is what leadership looks like," unquote, getting 50 likes. And let's see here. Rick Hinshaw said, quote, "You turned her into a smoking hole in the ground. Perfectly executed. More of this, please." Saluting emoji and American flag emoji. Got 102 likes. And trying to see if there's more contrarian statements or negative statements, but I'm not seeing a lot. This very well might be one of the best ratios he's had in terms of feedback to the original post. I say that and then I keep scrolling down. I found someone by the name of Ruben Michaels, and he says, "Get over yourself, Ramaswamy," and there's a picture of the Nazi flag juxtaposed to the picture of the Trump flag at some type of, like a pop-up convenience store made out of an old trailer. Which, again, I'm pretty sure Germany wasn't really that great with India, but logic be damned. Never mind, this person's making an accusation. I got 16 likes. And we do have the consistent contrarian Luke Zaleski, who we've covered. He comments very frequently on Vivek's post. And if you look at Luke's profile, he's very much, some people call him a leftist or left-sided party. And Luke says, quote, "We're going to be gaslit into a dictatorship. It's time to recalibrate the presumption that the Republican Party hasn't seriously been compromised. They've been working exclusively for Trump and in ways that are counter to U.S. interests and their own that just can't be explained." Hypocrisy is hilarious. That got 35 likes, though. So there are some people in which that resonated with. They may be morally, mentally vacuous, but unfortunately, I don't know if there's a way to actually... I don't see a way in which you can see a list of everyone who liked it, where we can check out their profiles, like when we're covering Bud Light, and you see someone say something nice, you go, "Is this a person?" You go to the profile, and all they do is repost for free stuff. So they just want free stuff. They don't really care about Bud Light. Now, in terms of the comments to this particular statement, again, that was Luke Zaleski. First comment that got most likes is from RLH, and he said, quote, "You just blather some over generalized word salad with zero evidence. I have to keep saying it. You absolutely suck at this," unquote. That got 7 likes. Brooklyn also chimed in saying, quote, "That can't even be explained, so why even start your bullcrap narrative," unquote, getting 3 likes. And let's see. Mr. Ducks replied, I don't want to say F minus for marketing, but it's a picture of a gentleman just sitting at a park, but there's no ducks. So this alleged Mr. Ducks says, quote, excuse me, and I'm going to alter this so it's more family appropriate. He says, quote, "I've never seen you denounce hurting children or hurting the liking of children," unquote. And I'm trying to keep this moderately family friendly or just not too crass. Let me know if you prefer I just read all the harsh things, but again, depending on the YouTube algorithm, that means not as many people might see it. So let me know if you have a preference. I would appreciate that. Now that, excuse me, that particular response got 1 like. Let me see here, and we'll do one more. Donna Lee responded again to Luke saying, quote, "Poor Luke wants to play, but he's really bad at it. Do you take lessons from Kamala on word salads?" unquote. I got 3 likes. So interestingly enough, this gentleman, as youth might say, was ratioed to say the least. And yet 35 people, I believe that's 35 that I said earlier? Yeah, 35 people did like the comment. So again, it's not 100%, but this is probably one of the most popular things Vivek has done, and we've been covering him for about maybe 9 months now. And it'd be interesting to see. Again, this is just one area of social media. It's fascinating to see the discrepancies between the different platforms. Earlier this week, we covered how on social media everyone was lambasting Claudine Gay, the former president of Harvard, for being anti-Semitic and actually plagiarizing the majority of her work. And a lot of people are saying that she was hired just based on her race. She was being the first African American president, and I think of Harvard. Now the first president had the least amount of tenure, and everyone was really negative in that regard on X or Twitter. Then I go to social media in terms of I go to LinkedIn, and there are some people, and again, you know their politics because we checked out the profiles. There's some people saying they wish they can give her a hug for the woman who cheated and had anti-Semitic policies in terms of their speeching on the campus. And yet, there are a lot of people who agreed with the statements on LinkedIn saying we should just give her a hug, or why are we even criticizing her? So it is fascinating to see the discrepancies between the platforms. But I mean, the real question is, we're seeing some great traction on social media in regard to Vivek, but I mean, when is it going to translate to the polls? That'll really be when the rubber hits the ground. And as I always say, time shall tell. Thank you everyone again for taking the time to tune in today. Again, I'm trying to get to 4,000 subscribers by the end of January. So if you click that button, I would greatly appreciate it. Also, leaving a comment is a great way to give me some additional feedback and how I can make the show better and better and better. Also, lastly, don't forget to take the time to tell your family, tell your friends, tell your coworkers, heck, tell your enemies, tell anyone and everyone. Just stay safe and fight the good fight.